What's going on, guys? It's CaptianJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the latest Phantom Forces update. So update 4.7.0 brings in third-person muzzle flashes, updated kill cards to show gun models, added attachment stat tracking for kills, normalized mouse sensitivity, reduced UI lag, and next weapon unlock previews. Now, all of that sounds interesting, but I think we're all here for the main event, and that is the Tommy gun. So this gun's going to be doing 37 damage at distance and 19 up close. So pretty much we're talking about the ballpark of the UMP45 and the MP5. It's literally in between those two guns. So that's the kind of damage you can expect from this weapon. So for PDW, I would say this gun does pretty good damage. In most situations, you're going to come out on top, especially considering that the fire rate is 725. This gun comes with new unlockable attachments also, such as a 30-round clip and a 50-round drum, as well as a new sight picture that comes with the gun once you unlock it. Me personally, I would not go with that sight picture. It just blocks way too much of the screen for my personal preference, and you want to be able to see enemies at the very least from the front of your gun. It's not to say you can't get kills with it, but it's going to put you at a disadvantage if you go with that sight. So if you go with the bigger clip sizes, your mobility will be hindered, especially if you go with the 50-round drum. Sure, it's cool to have 50 rounds to throw down range, but boy, do you move slow. It's like you're walking with the TRG-42 or an M60. You're just really slow, more of a target, no mobility, and this is a PDW for crying out loud. So I recommend that you go with the 30-round clip. That's the best all-around clip to go with. Your mobility is still going to be hindered, but it's not to where you're a tortoise on the battlefield. You're still able to move, you're still able to jump and get to where you need to be. One of the drawbacks for me with this update has to be the sensitivity UI. I know it can seem pretty minuscule compared to, some of the more grand updates that we've had, but if you've seen my latest video on how to get more kills in Phantom Forces, I go in depth in that video about how sensitivity is important in a first-person shooter, which it is. And now that this UI has been completely switched around, the reason is still unknown as to why they did that. I think the old sensitivity UI worked best, but the reason I'm annoyed with this is now my sensitivity settings are all over the place. You can kind of tell in my gameplay that my movement is a little bit off, and that's because I'm still studying my sensitivity and trying to get it where it used to be. I think the sensitivity UI update was unnecessary and it is broken. If you're going to do this kind of update stylus with this UI, you have to give people the option to click on this and manually input the numbers, because this slider just goes all over the place. You barely move your mouse and automatically you're like jumping 100 numbers, 50 numbers. Nobody can accurately get their sensitivity down with this UI. So please, we need a way to enter our numbers manually. Click on the numbers and enter them and get our sensitivity down packed. I reckon with this UI, it's going to take me ages to try and get my sensitivity back to where it used to be. It was much simpler to just have things done in integers of 1 and not whatever this is. This is just out of control. So in a moment, I'm going to be rolling some clips that I've prepared, some more Tommy gun footage, and a little bit of sniping. I've gotten a few comments about sniping tips and things like that. I'm going to be upfront with you guys right now. I am not a clipper. I know the clippers are on YouTube and Paradox Pokey and others, but I'm not one of those guys. I don't enjoy sniping in Phantom. I don't think it's fun at all, to be honest. I generally don't snipe in first-person shooters. I kind of specialize in every other gun but sniper rifles. However, I picked up a few sniper rifles and I've gotten some pretty decent kills that kind of surprised me, to be honest. Some pretty good quick scopes, and I'll be throwing those in. I guess you could call them clips, if you will. But before we get into that madness, I just want to say I really hope that Stylus gets this hit registration fixed ASAP, because it is out of control. It is really, really bad, and that is why the player numbers are dipping. Right now we're gonna have a spike in player numbers because there's a new update. People are coming in to try and see what's what, but before long they're gonna notice that the server lag is still there and the hit registration problems are still there. I know on the test server it's improved, however on the public servers it is still really bad. Just take a look at this clip right here on Mirage where I clear as day, hit this guy in the forehead with a Hattori and he shrugs it off and manages to kill me. That is ridiculous. So the next update needs to be hit registration and doing something about this lag on the public servers, because that's why the player numbers are dipping and not rising. So you mean to tell me that I can one-shot a guy through concrete with that rifle, but I am point blank with the other guy and I shoot him twice, point blank range, and he doesn't die? He's down to 20 health. Really, Stylus? Really? In no reality does that make sense at all. No reality. And in this moment right here, I'm behind the guy. We can roll the tape. I jumped over him and I'm behind him, and he shot me as if I was directly in front of him still. Most likely on his screen I was. On my screen I'm behind this guy. I shoot him point blank range. We should have one-shot this guy. Should have killed him. My gun is literally in him. But he kills me nonetheless. This game has a lot of content for new players and old players, arguably. We've got maps, we've got modes, we've got weapons. This should still be the #1 game on Roblox, if not the #2, as it used to be, not getting beat out by Meep City. No offense to people that like Meep City, but this game has a lot to it. You know, this onion has layers, but the fact that the hit registration and the lag is so prominent, not to mention the hackers, all of those factors are why players are choosing to jump onto other games and not Phantom right now. So Stylus, you want to get this down right for your next update. Next update, I don't care about guns, I don't care about features. I want the hit registration and the lag corrected, because you can't build onto a broken foundation. It doesn't matter how many guns you add or how many new features you add. If the hit registration and the lag is too unbearable, nobody's playing it no matter what. This is a first-person shooter. It can't be laggy. Under no circumstance can we have damage inconsistency such as this, where I hit this guy clear as day with a sword and boom, it just does nothing. The Hattori does almost as much damage as the BFG 50. It would be as if I hit him close range with the BFG 50, which would be a one-shot. But as you can see here, that was not the case, and he managed to kill me. Alright guys, those are my thoughts and opinions on the new Phantom Forces update. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to leave you with a pretty kick-ass clip of me jumping off a bridge and getting a double headshot. Until next time everyone, I'm CaptianJ, and I'll see you all on the battlefield.